I probably spent millions on pills, to be honest, in the past. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of stuff I wish I could have done differently, but it is what it is. Yeah, the lifestyle almost took me out many times. I gotta give a big shout out to rehab. I only went to rehab right at the end when I was really trying to get sober, because people around me wanted me to get sober for a long time, but you know, when you're a drug addict, you have to want to get sober before you can really get sober. Like, you can lie and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get sober next week, I'm gonna get sober next month, but until you really feel like, oh, it's time to get sober, nobody can make you get sober. It's an internal battle. But as far as rehab goes, I went to rehab 4 times. It took me a few tries to get it down, but
did they know that you was a famous rapper in there?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they caused a little problems in there too sometimes.
When you finally got it, what clicked for you? Was it, like you said, it has to be you? Was it
Yeah, I think it was just like an internal struggle, internal battle within myself, like really wanting to get sober. But I knew that if I kept going down the path I was going, I was gonna die soon.
Oh, it's going down the Daily Cannon, and it is an honor, privilege, and a pleasure to be joined by a young boss in the building. I mean, this man is one of the next generation's probably most beloved, most into it, more like my kids love him. I get to be a cool dad today because I am interviewing Lil Xan.
Yo, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Happy to be here.
Nah, man, it's an honor to sit here and chat with you. Welcome to the Daily Cannon. So I got to start here, man. Like I always say, I want to know the origin story of the superhero.
Yeah, of course.
So how did it all start? I mean, you was growing up, you like, yo, I just want to be, you know, a dope-ass rapper.
A rapper, yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that. Actually, I started off as a photographer for up-and-coming rappers in 2016. And then my camera got stolen at like one of these underground LA shows, and I was broke at the time. I couldn't afford to buy another camera, so basically it was only $20 to start rapping, so I just went with the cheaper option.
Wait, what you mean it was only $20 to start rapping?
Yeah, my engineer, that was his price. He was like, yo, you give me $20 an hour, I'll mix down your vocals, produce your beats and all that. And I was like, all right, well, I can't afford another camera, so let me take a little shot at the rapping
Nah,
stuff.
this is a phenomenal story. So you go being a photographer for rappers.
Yeah.
Who were you a photographer for?
My homeboys, just up-and-coming rappers at the time, Steven Cannon, a lot of SoundCloud rappers at that time, like 2016.
Yeah,
so
it
I
was
would
popping off.
Yeah, I would just sneak into like studios, all types of crazy stuff, just trying to get pictures and stuff. I love photography, but I'm glad that the music.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, okay, so I got to keep it here for a second because it has to be amazing. So, as a photographer, you became a bigger rapper than everybody you was taking pictures of.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it happened very quick. I'm very grateful for that because I was only trying to rap after that for like 8 months after, and then boom, I signed.
Then you was gonna retire?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The funny thing about that is once my music started to pop off, I was on tour. I bought another camera. It got stolen that night.
Oh, well, there's like, the universe was like, you are not supposed to be taking pictures. You're supposed to be rapping.
I took that as a sign, like maybe I should not, pick up a camera.
So why do you think it popped off so quick for you? And like, not all the people you was, around at the time. Like, why did it work so well for you?
I think it worked really well. Well, one, like I grew up like my dad used to have like thousands of vinyl records, and it was everything from like Beethoven classical to like punk rock and stuff. So I always felt like I was musically inclined in that sense from a young age. So it was like magic once we got onto the mic. Yeah, it was
Man,
nice.
that's dope.
Yeah.
And said it only cost $20.
Yeah.
Like that was the cheaper option. You either buy a camera or $20 to get.
It was $1,200 for a camera, and I did not have that at the time. Yeah.
So what was the first thing you recorded?
Oh, the first thing. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Like the first couple songs we had to throw out because I was just trying to get my footing in. I didn't know how to rap like per se. Like I didn't know how to stay on the beat. I could write good, all that.
Yeah.
But it took a few sessions to hone in. Like, okay, it's very different than photography, obviously.
Right.
But it took.
So how'd you figure it out? You just magically.
Yeah, no.
Got some rhythm.
Yeah, I would say.
Hung around a whole bunch of niggas.
Yeah. Hey, actually, yeah, that might have been it too. But I just had real good friends. Shout out to Steven Cannon, man.
Yeah.
Just good people around that pushed me to just be the best person.
Because your style is very original. Like, you're very
Thank you.
yourself.
Thank
so, like, you would think that, I mean, it sounds like all of this was purposeful, but
Yeah.
like, did somebody guide you like, nah, your flow got to be like this, or you got to talk about this?
You know, I think I'm very fortunate that I didn't have someone like trying to guide it maybe the wrong direction. I just like organically found that people used to tell me stuff like, oh, you got a lazy voice, you got a very monotone, you know, and I was like, all right, let me try to use that as like an instrument.
Yeah.
And also I feel like the time like 2016 to like 2019 was like this real golden era of like SoundCloud. You know, everybody was popping off like Lil Pump, XXXTentacion, and the stars aligned, the planets aligned, whatever you want to call it. And I just so happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, nah, man, that's super dope. So let's talk about the image for a minute.
Yeah.
The name Lil Xan.
Crazy.
That. I mean, brilliant. You know what I mean? But how'd you come up with it?
Yeah, it's pretty ignorant of a name.
You tapped right into the culture.
Yeah. You know, at the time I was just thinking of like, because everybody was coming up with crazy names. You know, like Lil Pump's a crazy name. Like all these names are crazy. So I was like,
all the Lils. You had to put a Lil in front of it.
It had to be Lil. It had to be Lil. Yeah, shout out Lil Wayne, man. But no, I just got lucky. Yeah, I just got super lucky.
And then, and it was just like, cause I've heard, cause I was, you know, Xan is, but I also heard it was like short for anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I'll give you more context. Like I've been sober now for 3 years.
Congratulations,
thank
my
you,
brother.
thank you.
That's what's up.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But during that time, I was very not sober. I was taking like 30 Xanax, 2 milligrams a day. I don't even know how I was awake during that time. I was about to say, like, yeah, it was really bad.
Is that what you just sleeping on the mic?
Exactly.
Like, that's why you couldn't stay on the beat, nigga. You was asleep.
Hey, that was a big problem. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I got the name obviously from. I felt like nobody could be Lil Xan better than me at that time because
you were about the Xan.
The embodiment of his Lil Xan. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I feel like what the PR is like, oh, it's anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's kind of more like.
Yeah. Oh, I had trouble. Like, even when I came up with Lil Xan, like, I was like, man, radio's not gonna play me because of that, you know, all types of stuff. But I got lucky. A lot of people didn't really take it that way because I always tried to make it like an anti-drug kind of thing. Yeah. Even while I was on drugs, I still was trying to promote not doing drugs. But it was a wild time. Nah,
man. And then so in 2016, was this the look, all the tats, all that? So
I had a lot less, lot less. I think I only had like one face tattoo at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my first face tattoo when I was 17.
And are you still going?
No, I stopped actually a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh, really? No more face tats? No more tats or no more face tats?
Oh, no more face tats. I still got to get the body, but I feel like if I keep adding to the face, I feel like people won't recognize me maybe as much anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes. He in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, because that was the other thing, like, everybody, you know, I'm blasted up to, you know, to my ears, to my neck, but people are always like, man, the face is too much.
Oh, yeah. You're in a lot, you do a lot of acting too, so for actors and stuff, they don't want you to have any tattoos.
But that's what I'm saying. It takes me, when I'm doing films, like my last film that I did where I was like being a straight-laced character, I probably had to go, most of the clothing was long sleeve.
Yeah, that's what they do,
Yeah, but even then, I still had to get, you know, from here to here and here to here covered and my neck. And that
makeup
like
was probably
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
so I could only imagine if I had some face tattoos.
Yeah, I don't think makeup could get rid of this, like, without me looking kind of stupid. I don't know if I'd look right.
So is that like this generation's rite of passage? Like, if you're gonna be a rapper, you got to get your face tattooed. Because I remember back in the day, shout out to Kid Ink.
Yep.
He used to be around, and we be chilling and stuff like that. And he was probably like one of the first to kind of be super duper blasted.
Yeah.
And he said one of the reasons why he did it is because he knew if he did that, there was no turning back. He had no other option. He had to make it as a rapper because he couldn't get a 9 to 5.
Yeah, shout out to Kid Ink. He's dope. Yeah, bro, I think it is in a way like a rite of passage. To me, it was like, okay, like there's no going back, you know, once you tap your hands in your face.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good way to put it, like a rite of passage. I feel like for us during that era, like the SoundCloud era, we were just crazy, just tatting up our faces, all kinds of wild stuff. And it's I think we made it more like culturally like appropriate and acceptable in a way. Because now you walk down any street in LA and everybody looks kind of like.
Yeah, everybody got tattooed.
Yeah.
Is there one that's more meaningful than others? Like, what's your favorite
My
face
mom's
tat?
name, which was the first one, Candy. Her name is Candy. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and I got that face tattoo first because I was thinking, my thought process was, if I get my mom's name tatted on me, how mad could she really be?
But I was about to say,
She got a little upset. Yeah,
was
yeah.
upset?
She was happy, like, I'm happy you got my name, but
then when you became a superstar rapper, like,
that came a little after, but that little in between time was a little, what are you gonna do for work? You know, all this. Shout out to Mom.
what did you say to her?
I said, yo, you know what I used to say? I said, don't worry, I got this. Yeah, so real confident.
You was right, man. Like,
Yeah.
so your family through your entire journey, they've been rocking with you.
Yeah. Shout out to, that's another thing I'm very grateful for, because I know a lot of people don't have the fortune to have both parents in their lives and also in a stable relationship. So I think that helped a lot, them pushing me towards my career.
Man, you're a super, like, thoughtful, intelligent person.
Oh, thank you.
But the music sometimes, you know what I mean,
different.
can paint you in a different picture.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the balance of
Mm-hmm.
the two, especially, I mean, it sounds like, you know, during, you know, when you first started and stuff, it was probably you weren't yourself.
Yeah, I would say that's the Xanax. You know, the Xanax, I'll say this, the Xanax gave me like a false sense of confidence. I don't think without it, I would have been a rapper, because I think I would have been too shy or too nervous. So that's the one good thing I'll say that Xanax gave me, is like,
Yeah.
it made me feel like I was the shit. I was like, you know.
But you definitely don't seem like you need it now.
No. But after that initial
Because people I've seen on Xanax, they may have confidence, but they are in a different world.
Yeah, exactly. And that was me. Like, it helped me not be so nervous and not have anxiety. But once I signed the record deal and, my career started moving along, it almost destroyed my whole career, basically. Yeah, it was really bad. It got even worse than 30 Xanaxes a day. I was taking like 90 Xanaxes a day.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really bad. Really bad. Yeah.
I didn't know your system could take all that.
Yeah, bro, I'm small too. I didn't know either. Yeah.
But, hey, well, we glad you're here. We glad you've been sober.
I appreciate it.
What's next? What's coming up, man? What's the?
I just signed to a new label, Third Eye Records. It's under Universal. So yeah, we're working on a third album right now. I'm super excited about it.
Man, that's dope. And the fact that, because even that moment, like, when did you know you had made it? Like, when was it like, oh shit, I'm a rapper for real?
Probably when I signed my first record deal to Columbia Records. Yeah. I remember I was basically living in motels before that, all types of horrible situations, cockroaches in my cereal. It was terrible. Went to New York, signed that deal, came back, got a house, put my mom in a house, my dad in the same house. At that moment, I was like, okay.
Wow, so you went from a roach motel.
Yeah.
And then signed a deal and was buying houses for your parents.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time. Yeah. But you know what? I'm happy though. I'm happy that all the hardships I've had in my life, I don't regret, because I feel like it built me to be the person I am. Like, you have to go through struggles in life. Like, that builds character. That builds, a whole lot of stuff, good stuff.
But even I think one thing that's dope about your music is that you do reveal yourself on there.
Yeah.
You're super open. You're super vulnerable. You think
Yeah.
is that why your fans relate to it so much?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, as just my opinion, I think as far as an artist, I think the most important thing when you make music is to be relatable to the people listening. And if you can be relatable to the audience and they feel your struggles, what you're going through, and they can relate to that, you have a fan for life. That's how I look at it.
So how would you? We often ask this in more of a playful way, like out of all the emojis out there, what emoji would best describe Lil Xan's music?
Oh man, that's a good one. I don't want to say the pill emoji because I'm sober now. Probably like the little spooky ghost. That's I like
But
that
that's
one.
the thing I was gonna ask you, like, because you're in a genre of hip hop that's not necessarily classified. Like, how would you describe your style of music?
You know, I would say like cloud rap.
Cloud rap.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like SoundCloud rap.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a sonic sound.
Yeah,
to that.
and also on top of that, like mumble rap, definitely my earlier stuff. Not so much the new stuff, but the early stuff, and maybe it was the Xanax I was on, but it was very like mumbly, like, and we got a lot of shit for it in the beginning from like other rappers. They were like, oh, these little mumble rappers, they're not, really.
So you were the ones that everybody was talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I thought they was talking about the Migos.
Yeah. Oh no. Shout out to Migos. Yeah. No. I got a lot of backlash for just the music I made, and just having the name Lil Xan is crazy.
Yeah. But it cut through. Like it literally, like people were like, you stood on something, and then the audience connected with it. That's why I was like, even now, because as you're getting ready for this next album, is like, all right, is it still cloud rap, or is it still like, because even like I would kind of class it as like it's a little emo to it. There's like this grunge element.
That's a
to
good
it.
way. Yeah.
You know?
I would say very emo. I know damn well if you type in like emo rappers on Google, I think I pop up in like the top 10 emo rappers. I never considered myself emo, but I am an emo rapper. If you listen, I feel like I'm better at making like sad heartbreak kind of music. Yeah, I don't know.
But that's you connecting with people. You tapping into people's emotions. So
exactly. And like I said, if you can get someone to relate to your struggles, be transparent through the music, you got fans forever.
Man, that's so dope. And then, I don't know, I'm intrigued by this generation. One, y'all make me feel hella old. But it's like, I feel like you guys have a stronger direction. Like, even if it's not the same direction everyone thinks you should go, it's almost like, it's an anti-authoritarian approach.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's from the tats, whether it's from the emo
vibes. Very punk, very like DIY, do it yourself, punk rock. Yeah, it's like that grunge too, yeah.
And it feels that way. But the crazy thing is, like, it's the masses. Like, you guys are playing festivals that got hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I mean, similar to rock, but in the same time, like, you still holding it down for hip hop. So do you have that struggle, especially like, do you come across like some of the older rappers or guys from generations, and like, what type of love do they show you, or do they not show you love at all?
I'll say that I'll say, like, I got a lot of love for the old heads. I got a lot of love for
who do you consider old heads?
I mean, like Joe Budden, old head. Shout out to Joe Budden.
Grandpa Joe.
Yeah. But like, people like that tend to not like me for sure, just because maybe I'm a newer generation, but I grew up on old school hip hop, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Big L. Like, I loved old school hip hop, but I didn't get much love from the old heads early on in my career.
Of course not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And how'd that make you feel? Like,
you
did
know,
you like, I ain't give a fuck, or did
like,
you like, damn, I really thought you was supposed to be
Yeah,
an OG?
during that time, I felt like I was kind of trying to drown everything out, but now as I get older and I'm sober now, I want the respect of the older heads, because like, that's the shit I grew up on, Yeah.
And is it like, I mean, because you're still a young dude, so to even know about like De La and Big L and Tribe, like, did you like, who put you on to that stuff, or did you have to like, if I'm gonna be in this hip hop shit, I gotta go to hip hop college?
Yeah. I'm a shout out to my dad, man. My dad put me on to everything that would help out, like De La Soul, Big L.
If you don't mind me asking, how old is your dad?
He's 54.
So yeah, he's a child of hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's the one that had like thousands of vinyl records, and yeah, there was classic rap albums on there, but like also punk rock, and I think punk rock was what inspired me to just like, because the whole SoundCloud generation to me is very punk rock.
Yeah.
Very just like breaking barriers down, doing things that you thought you couldn't do previously in the industry. So yeah, my dad, shout out to my dad for putting me on.
Yeah, shout out to Pops and putting you up on Tribe and De La and Big L and all that. So out of all that, who's Lil Xan's favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper, it sucks. We lost so many good rappers in the last few years. I would say my favorite is Mac Miller for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, Mac Miller.
Rest in peace to my brother.
Yeah, rest
Mac.
in peace. He was dope, man.
Super talented.
Oh, so talented, so talented. People like that. People like Lil Peep. Lil Peep was definitely a big inspiration. XXX Tentacion. It sucks because someone just asked me the other day. They're like the same question, and I'm just like thinking like, damn, a lot of them are not here no more. It's really sad thing.
Yeah, and I want to ask you that too, and go just a little deeper for a moment. Like,
Yeah.
being a rapper ain't easy.
Yeah.
Like Jim Jones, I remember quoted one time. He said, "A rapper is the most dangerous job in the world."
He ain't lying.
And it's just because of, one, everybody knows you, and you got to be vulnerable in that sense. And then just the lifestyle and what is
the lifestyle is what almost killed me for sure. Because I was dabbling with Xanax a little bit before I got like the advance from Colombia, but they handed a drug addict kid millions of dollars with no proper guidance. I probably spent millions on pills, to be honest, in the past. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of stuff I wish I could have done differently, but it is what it is. The lifestyle almost took me out many times.
Man, can we talk about that? Because obviously I'm super big on therapy and mental health.
Yeah, me too.
The process of, we hear rappers going to rehab.
Yeah.
Like, is that like, do they send you away to Malibu and like take your phone away? Like, or is it like, what is that process, and how does it get you to a place to where now you can say you 3 years sober?
Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to rehab. I only went to rehab right at the end when I was really trying to get sober, because people around me wanted me to get sober for a long time. But, when you're a drug addict, you have to want to get sober before you can really get sober. Like, you can lie and be like, yeah, I'm going to get sober next week, I'm going to get sober next month. But until you really feel like, oh, it's time to get sober, nobody can make you get sober. It's an internal battle. But as far as rehab goes, I went to rehab 4 times. Not in Malibu. I wish it was in Malibu. Just like places in the valley and stuff.
Yeah.
It took me a few tries to get it down, but
did they know that you was a famous rapper in there?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they caused a little problems in there too sometimes.
Yeah.
But good people, man. I remember, this is a good quote. The first time I went to rehab, one of the people that worked there, he came up to me and he was like, you're not going to get it this first time. And I remember feeling so discouraged, because I'm there trying to better myself. But then a month goes by, I get out immediately, I hit up my plug like the day I get out of rehab. And I was like, that's what he meant. Like, I'm not going to get it my first time.
Right.
And that's okay. It took a couple more times before I got it. Yeah.
And then when you finally got it, what clicked for you? Was it, like you said, it has to be you? Was it just like...
I think it was just like an internal struggle, internal battle within myself, like really wanting to get sober. But I knew that if I kept going down the path I was going, I was going to die soon. Yeah, so that's what did it.
That could definitely clear it up for you. But I would also say, were there people in your world, I mean, just from the outside looking in, they probably didn't want you to change.
Oh, yeah.
They was like, yo, you gonna fuck up the bag if you not the Xan that we know. Like, your name is Lil Xan.
Yeah,
you cannot be sober.
Without saying too much, I'll say this. Like, when I was with my first management team, I haven't said this publicly a lot, but they would make sure that I had drugs shipped wherever I was at. They were fueling the fire. They weren't sending me to rehab or anything. They knew that if I didn't have my drugs, I wouldn't be able to go on stage, because I'd be withdrawing, I'd be sick and stuff. So we could be in Australia, we could be in London. They would make sure that the drugs got shipped to wherever we're at. They facilitated that whole thing.
And it's just like, yo, we got to give him whatever he needs to be Lil Xan.
Exactly,
so they were focused. They wasn't focused on the person. They was focused on
the entity. And them making their own money. Yeah.
As somebody, because I have a record label, and it saddens me because I got a couple, or just mainly like a not so successful story about having an artist who has substance abuse.
Yeah.
And young dope white rapper, from San Diego. His name was Ryan Bowers, and he got, it was dope. he was just probably one of the dopest, most talented kids I ever seen. And then unfortunately, he's no longer here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was just like, but it was like I saw a kid who had the world at his fingertips.
Yeah.
So much talent and potential of where to take it. But there was this, like you said, this inner struggle of like
it's sad.
sadness.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I'm hearing you talk about it, it's like, I'm pretty sure at some point you thought the drugs were helping, or because that was the thing about substance abuse and even like mental health that I've learned, is like nobody wants to be fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if anything, it's like you're trying to mask or escape something
like
else.
To numb the emotions and stuff like that. And it sucks. I'm sorry about your friend. That's terrible because it's always the most talented, nice people that we end up losing. You know, it's a real tragedy. And
it's like this spiritual warfare of what music is like because everybody can relate because you're like an empath. So everybody can everybody can relate to how deep you feel, and they hear it in your music and they're like, oh man, that he's tapping into some stuff that you know only artists can tap into. And then but they don't know the pressures of it. So what would you say, like, what's the hardest part about being an artist, especially now that you see it from a clear-minded perspective?
I would say the hardest part, and I've gotten a lot better at this in recent years, is the media, you know, the media portraying me or any rapper.
Doing interviews.
Yeah, this is cool. Stuff like this is fine, but like TMZ and, you know, I'm all for the media coverage, but it's when they twist facts and they make up their own stuff.
And they gonna do that every time.
every time. And I'll say, like, I don't read comments anymore. I don't read, like, even DMs requested, because I used to, that shit used to make me want to die, reading like comments, like mean comments and stuff, like, oh, your music sucks, or you should have like died OD, like, so I don't do that.
People are saying shit like that?
Oh, I got death threats on the daily back then. It's not so bad now, thank God. But,
but why? Like, what was it?
Oh, I said some stuff in the past.
So you made some people mad.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good, man. I understand. Like,
well, your story is inspired now, and you're gonna make a lot of people proud.
You're
gonna make a lot of people glad, because to go through what you've gone through and to be on the other side of it, man. And I'm looking forward to you know what you're gonna bring to the table as an artist this time around, because one, we watch you grow. Yeah. You know, and to be sober, to be still so thoughtful, still so open, I'm sure like this your life is a movie, man. And you made it, you know, to the happy ending. So whatever you offer up to your fans and to the culture, they're gonna greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And speaking of the happy ending, this is the way we always end our interviews. It's not often that you can sit in front of somebody who's super successful, gone through some shit, and then come back and they could talk about it. So you truly had a successful life in many different ways, and that's why we have this segment called Life Lessons in less than 60 seconds. Now, it's just like Mad Libs. You don't put a lot of thought to it. Okay. I'm gonna rattle some shit off, and all you gotta do is just fill it in the blank. Okay. But this is really who it is and how you feel. Lil Xan, Life Lessons in less than 60 seconds. Start the clock. I'm my best when I'm
sober.
I learned to never
give up.
I want to thank my mother for teaching me how to
be a good person.
I wish my dad would have told me
to not trust certain people.
Oh, all right. I always regret not
saying sorry.
I wish I would have told my ex
that I don't love her.
My favorite quote / lyric is
favorite quote, the sky is blue.
The world needs more
love.
When I'm alone, I often
overthink.
I always keep a blank on me.
Gun. No, I'm just kidding. Not gun. A notebook.
When I'm excited, I grab my
Skittles.
And finally, I want to be remembered for
spreading happiness, love, and positivity.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Lil Xan. And man, it's been an honor, privilege, and pleasure to talk to you, my brother.
Likewise, thank you.
There it is.